What's something that you've done while horny and you regret it?
In my early teen years, I accidentally made my clit burn using Vicks VapoRub that was supposed to give it a tingling sensation. I watched way too much BDSM and got ideas. I was in immense pain and was lying spread out under cold water to try and make it stop, and I couldn't tell my extremely religious parents or they would be freaked out.
Girl Isam.
Oof, I can only imagine. I feel like it would be like going down there after eating something spicy, but 100x worse.
I did that on my pee cause I thought the same. Just burnt like heck.
Sex with my ex, the same day I moved out. We had broken up earlier, but it took a couple of months before I managed to find a place to move all my stuff. Afterwards, I just laid there and hugged her hard, didn't want to let go. Just laid there in a cuddly mess for half an hour, covered in sweat and other bodily fluids, but most of all, tears. I don't know why the F I did that to myself. It was supposed to make us both feel better and relieve stress, but it was just torture. I should have just left much earlier. Preferably when she wasn't at home.
That sounds rough. I hope things worked out well for you both.
Ugh, that's just a effing natural disaster of emotions. I'm sorry about that.
You can't make reasonable decisions in the bargaining phase. Happens to all of us.
5 years ago, boss recruited someone new and introduced them via a WhatsApp group before we met them. New recruit and I started chatting in WhatsApp before we ever met, and I took it too far too fast. Went to meet him that night. I was deeply not attracted to him, and his home was horror story dirty and cluttered. I accepted his weak offer for alcohol and got drunk really fast to avoid facing reality. I felt too bad for him to leave, but I knew the alcohol would help me, help him. The sex ended up being one of the best I ever had to date, but he is such a gross person, hygiene and personality. I regret everything about the way it happened. Same year, swimming in self-hatred, I also fucked the boss of that job. 2 regrets for the price of 1. You're welcome.
Jesus. In today's time, you are a walking lawsuit for businesses.
Kevin Hart said in a special that he was giving his best dick out when he was homeless effing for rides lol.
Damn, you and I have similar judgment and impulse control issues. I like you. Haha.
Things went tan to dark quick. I hope you are in a better place now.
Enthusiastically went home with a guy who said he had a dog he had too. Found out from a friend the next time he had just gotten out of jail for homicide.
I don't understand the relevance of the dogs.
Did anything happen to you?
Yikes.
Did he also have other animals we need to know about?
I sat on a glass jar.
One man.
Why did you have to be horny for that? Was there any special about that jar?
I held hands before marrying.
You filthy heathen. I bet you even shower naked.
I bet you are naked under your clothes, you scum.
What a heathen. 6 inches and a Bible.
Did you use protection? A glove at least?
Paid for prostitute. Was single and lonely, working abroad, mental condition was getting worse. I'm trying to excuse myself, but I can't stop thinking about YTF I have done that. I'm not feeling comfortable with myself now. This social stigma is making it even worse.
It sounds like you sought out a service you needed at the time to help with your mental health. That person was willing to fill that role for you, and though maybe on reflection you don't think it fixed the loneliness like you hoped it would, you certainly shouldn't beat yourself up for trying it. Best of luck, and I hope things are on the up for you.
For what it's worth, I don't think any less of you for it.
I don't see anything wrong with that, even as a woman myself. It's like saying you went to a masseuse for tight muscles. No need to feel shame. It's just a bummer that you didn't get quite the feeling you were really looking for. Physical touch is only half the battle sometimes.
Don't feel bad. That's one of the reasons why these services are needed. What was an alternative? Crippling depression and a bullet in your head? You only look at the negatives right now because of that stigma, but you are human, just like all others who seek these types of services. People have no right to judge you, and you should have no reason to feel bad about it.
Yeah, dude, I'm not here to dog you for taking part in something consensual. Was it really sketchy or something? No, it's cool, and you're normal.
Don't feel bad for this. I know my partner paid for it once and I don't think any less of him.
Dude, you were single, what you did affected absolutely zero other people. You were lonely. F the social stigma. If society were right, it would be encouraging us to do the little things to make us happier. You just did one of those. It's not a lot different than having a beer as long as the girl was a happy participant, and you were happier because of it. The last part really sounds like the issue. I'm one to talk, but loving ourselves, man, it's what we have to do if we are ever gonna be happy. Hug. I hope you have a nice day, man. You don't deserve anything but happiness.
I can't even judge you. Like religiously, let he who has never sinned throw the first stone, am I right? But I'm not even religious, so personally, if you're just trying to get by, and you see something that might help, F what anyone else says. Go for it. Social constructs are made for eventual deconstruction anyways.
Was it a bad experience?
Don't worry, buddy. Poop happens and we learn from our mistakes. Head up, friend.
All depends on perspective, my friend. It's a very normal and legal thing to do in my country. You needed it in that moment, and that's perfectly fine.
Paying for sex really isn't a big deal.